Oh, we rejoin Flynn and Ursa on their way to meet up with Flynn's contact within the Giraffe Snarl. Go ahead and tell me a little bit about what you guys are doing, how you guys are making your way through the city, and if you're chatting about anything along the way.
How far is it away from where we're at?
It's a good 30-minute walk.
Okay, so it's not ridiculous. It's okay. Yeah, so we'll walk. We'll try to walk over that direction and try to make sure we give a wide berth of people, so we don't, people aren't eavesdropping on our conversations, easily eavesdropping on our conversations.
So because he didn't actually tell Ursa
No.
where we were going.
Of course he didn't.
or what we were doing.
Let's take a walk.
So Ursa will, while they're walking, Ursa's gonna say, listen, I know what I did was stupid, but you don't have to yell at me. You don't have to do anything. I understand. That's why we left them on the side of the road. You don't have to take me out here and scold me or whatever.
Yes, what you did was very stupid, but I get it. I do. And it's going to continue to be like that unless we do something about it. I know someone who might be able to help.
What?
An old contact of mine. I knew her back before everything went sideways and I had to relocate to this icy frontier.
How could this person help us?
Well, she tends to deal with other people who have had similar issues. Normally, she deals with victims of the StarCon, especially those who've run afoul with the Justicars or as hounds and have been, warped by them psychically, physically, mentally.
Well,
And
if she can help my Eric, I'd be very grateful to her. I don't think that Alara wants to help.
So I don't know enough if he can be helped, but the least we can do is go asking it, see if we get answers, see if it's within the realm of possibility.
I appreciate you for even thinking about helping me.
Well, I need you on your A game, and if you're distracted by the fate of your friend, that's not going to do me or anyone else in the crew any good.
Yes, of course. Yes. So, had any dates recently?
Date's a strong word.
And then they'll chuckle. And if you don't have anything else, we can fast forward or skip to another scene.
Fast forwarding. So the two of you come to an intersection in the Giraffe Snarl where some of Starhaven's meager sunlight manages to break through the towering labyrinth above you and around you. You do see darkened figures sort of watching you as you're making your way. They are keeping to the shadows beneath the facades of mismatched buildings. And in the base of one of these ramshackle spires ahead of you sits a simple storefront. Flynn, you've been here a couple of times before. It has two street-level windows that meet in a glass door in the center, and Angelique's Boutique du Psychologique is scrawled in neon cursive above the doorway. There's an insectoid man with crossed arms that end in crab claws, wearing a beret with holes cut for his antenna, watching right next to the front door.
As we approach, I'll give a little tip of the tug on the hat for him as a greeting.
He doesn't uncross his claws, but he does sort of nod at you. Captain, are you staying out of trouble?
Sure.
Huh.
Let's go with that.
Madame, I do not know if you know you are traveling with a liar.
Oh, I'm well aware. I just hope that he's not lying to me about one specific thing.
What is that? Is that the vasectomy he tells everybody he's got?
Sure. Yeah. That.
I take it you are here to see Angelique?
Yes.
And he turns and he rattles on the door 2 times with his claw, and the door opens of its own accord. Now go on in.
Just do a little like kind of point, kind of after you, like a very much after you gesture.
Ursa will give you an unsure look and then walk in.
And Flynn will follow closely behind.
And Flynn, you know this is Pierre Lavigne. He closes the door behind you. And the 2 of you come into this small storefront. You see there's a couple of shelves of different books and various knickknacks. You see a couple of different skeletons and skulls that have been labeled with a number of different strange lore and Imperium sigils on different districts of the skulls. There's a number of weird, sort of glowing and foaming potions about. And towards the back, you do see there is a counter that's got a number of different crystals on it, and beyond there is a beaded curtain that leads into a room that fog seems to be sweeping out of.
Cue dramatic entrance and 3, 2, 1.
And the beaded curtain separates, and out comes your old friend Angelique, who is dressed sort of to the nines in anachronistic Earth clothing, similar to yourself, Flynn. However, instead of being dressed as a pirate, she tends to favor things that you would think an Anne Rice vampire would wear. A lot of lace, a lot of velvet, a lot of big poofy skirts. Occasionally with the hoops that make your hips amazingly huge. She's not wearing a powdered wig this time, but she does have the same gray skin and pointed ears that Flynn does. Ursa.
Oh, you are beautiful, man.
It is
Yeah.
nice to meet a friend who has such manners.
Oh,
And
yes. Hi. Flynn brought me here.
I will step forward and take her hand and get do a very big sweeping bow and do the kiss on the top of the hand. Pleasure to see you as always, my dear.
Oh, you are an old softy, bringing me another lost soul to care for. And where have you picked this one up?
She is a member of my crew.
Oh, you are a pirate.
I
Like,
am a transport operator. We transport goods and services as needed to help this thriving community.
You are aware I can read your thoughts.
Only a pirate if I get caught. Wink.
Well, what can I do for a couple of transport operators?
Well, it seems that, well, she is a very good friend, has fallen under some undue psychic sway. I don't know what you might tell us about ways to help relieve his condition.
Yes, I can tell that there's something about you, girl, isn't there?
I suppose. I mean, everybody has something about them, don't they?
Yes, but you have something even, I don't know, it's bizarre. Will you come closer, please?
She'll look at Flynn for guidance. and then take a hesitant step forward.
I'm gonna try to give her a reassuring smile.
She extends this long, dainty hand and gestures for you to put your palm face up in her hand.
Okay, she will hold out her palm.
Oh yes, you are from Terra's moon, no?
Yeah.
The city in the dark place.
Yes, I am. I am from there. Yes, Fallside.
Hmm.
It is
And
Fallside's tyrant that holds my friend captive.
yes, a relative of yours.
She'll look at Flynn. Yes.
And you have a sister, a twin sister.
You got all that from my palm?
Our
You're very
hands, our hands tell us a lot about ourselves, young one.
I'm just watching her give it, and my eyes kind of roll a little bit as much as they can. Like, we're laying on a little thick, aren't you?
No, this is extraordinary. And she sort of she puts two fingers in the lines of your palm and she runs them up to your wrist and a little bit up your forearm. She says, "You have great psychic abilities yourself, do you not?"
A little bit, nothing telepathic like my sister, but I have a little bit of psychic ability.
The potential is in there for you. I can feel it. You have been in touch with a moonstone, have you not?
Yes, I have.
Hmm. Well, you are a curiosity, my dear. One that I can definitely help.
What
You are.
do you tell me?
I need you to bring me this Eric. And your sister and anyone else that you know who has been affected by your aunt's mental conditioning.
You think there's something wrong with my sister?
And you as well, my dear.
But no, Alex,
Mm-hmm.
we never said the name Eric.
No, you didn't.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Well, Ursa didn't pay attention to that. What is wrong with us?
I'm going to take a step quietly, like as she's focusing on her. I'm going to slowly kind of move to be behind her.
Well, when I read your thoughts, my dear, I can sense your confusion about this boy, and I can sense your aunt and her torturer have left subliminal messages inside each of you.
Oh. So how do you plan to help him?
So I plan on helping any of you. My speciality is in correcting psychic torture, healing people who have been subjected to it.
But she's still in his mind, it would seem.
And in yours, and in Alara's. She's a very powerful psychic.
Okay. And all that requires is bringing all the people that I love here.
Well, and I won't lie to you, it's going to require a lot of intensive psychic deconditioning. It's not going to be a pleasant experience, I'm afraid. And she sort of turns her hand over and sort of tries to give you a reassuring grasp of both hands.
Yes, well, I will have to consider it. Thank you.
In the meantime, make sure your sister does not get a hold of that stone.
What? Why?
Because she will have to bring it back to your aunt.
What?
That's one of her conditions.
How do you know that by looking through me?
You're not the only one inside your head, child. And your aunt had a lot of terrible things to say about you when I encountered her just now.
Ursa has a very wide-eyed, panicked look as she looks at Flynn. I think we need to go now. Thank you for your time. And then she'll sort of turn around and walk out the door.
Keep a very close eye on her, Flynn. I fear you may be in greater peril than you think.
I can't be in peril. It's not noon yet.
Ursa is also already, as she gets out the door, she's running towards where she knows Flynn's ship is because she knows that Alara is alone and she doesn't want her to be alone. Bye, Flynn.
Flynn, do you leave to go follow Ursa?
I'm going to try to. Yeah.
She's going pretty quick.
She's
Meanwhile, elsewhere in Starhaven, Alara, you are making your way downtown.
Walking fast.
And you're homebound. Your guys' operation took a pretty decent amount of time, so it is getting to be around evening time as you finally make your way back into the central district, Alara. And you do see there are a number of Farside commandos and Aegis soldiers combing the area. You see it looks like they're stopping people on the street to ask questions. What are you trying to do?
So for the moment, she's going to try to rely on her disguise and trying to sneak through these guys to get to Watson's on the ship, right?
I think he's in your apartment.
Oh. Okay, then yeah.
I don't think he's been cleared to hang out on the ship by himself yet.
True,
No.
right. Okay.
Oh, I thought he was on the ship.
Yeah, I thought
Yeah.
I missed something.
I don't think you guys have allowed him to stay there by himself, other than to talk to your... He was talking to your toaster the last time you saw him.
Yeah, and Ursa threw an apple at him. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, she is trying to get back to the apartment. For now, she's just going to use the disguise and try to be stealthy. If she gets stopped, she might try an illusion. If it seems like, because she has like documentation and stuff of some sort, like forged stuff. So if it's anyone who's going to look twice, then she'll just try to put a little illusion effect in there.
Awesome. So, are you trying to like avoid gaze, or are you trying to walk casual?
I think she would want to avoid any notice possible. Like, is it very busy here?
It's not super busy. It's winding down for the day. You see there's 8 to 10 Farside commandos around and probably 10 to 15 of the Aegis soldiers.
Okay. If the crowd's not thick enough to like blend into, then stealth approach, I suppose.
Give me a stealth check.
Okay, first roll of the night. Probably should have put up my stealth a bit, but no, not bad. 20.
Not bad.
20 total.
20 total. So as you're sort of trying to keep off of the beaten path, staying away from the Farsiders, you believe you've caught the attention of 2 Aegis agents. You see a sort of no-nonsense human woman with tightly braided brown hair and a small pointed nose, and a black man with a narrow goatee and a silver stud in his left ear, dressed in traditional Aegis armor.
Okay.
The woman will sort of wave over at you. say, "Ma'am, can we ask you a couple of questions real quick?"
She'll turn around. Oh, yes, of course. Do you need something, or can I help you with something?
Yes. There's been an attack at the Farsider Depot, and we're just asking around to see if you've seen any suspicious people around.
Suspicious people? No. I've been at home most of the day. I just went out to get some groceries.
She kind of looks at your empty hands.
I didn't find anything that I was looking for. Got a very particular taste, you see.
Mm.
I was looking for some apples, actually. You know, moon apples.
Yeah.
Very hard to get them this time of year.
You see the man she's with. He can't help but like laugh to himself. She shoots him a dirty look. She says, "I'm Agent Hansen. This is Agent Bonham," and she hands over a business card that has the Aegis logo on it. Well, if you do hear of any interesting characters around, please feel free to give us a call.
Oh, of course. She'll take the card, and as she does, just a quick mind scan to see if they're suspicious of her.
Sure.
Um,
It's a DC 20 for your...
yes.
So Hansen, you're able to get into her thoughts. Bonham, you are not able to get into his thoughts. Because I rolled a natural 20 for his will save.
Oh, it's right over there. Just want to make sure they don't feel like. Oh, I need to do a contested check with the mind reading, right?
Yep. And I got a 21 on my opposed check.
Well, I've got a hero point. This is pretty important, so. Plus 10. So 24.
That will succeed. You're able to get her surface thoughts, which at the moment are, we're wasting time on this little operation. Jones and Pilsen are still out there somewhere and they need help.
And that seems like she's talking about other Aegis agents?
You would think so.
No other Aegis agents that are... Like, we've mostly seen the Farsighter Commandos recently. Have we seen other people from Aegis other than, like, ages ago when we landed back here again?
Other than Praetor Shea and Commander Antilligs, no, you haven't really interacted with too many of the human soldiers.
Okay.
Too many of the Earthlings.
Well, doesn't seem to be an immediate problem. So, just gonna keep those names in mind and take the card and head off.
Awesome. Yeah, they'll hand it to you and they'll move on to the next person on the street.
She'll just turn around and then keep moving, maybe at a quicker pace.
Excellent. You make it back to the apartment, where you see Watson and the toaster are sitting on your couch watching TV.
Yeah.
Find anything interesting to watch then?
Well, the toaster has been surprisingly recalcitrant since I unplugged it. Hasn't had a lot of opinions. I've been changing the channels and it hasn't told me to stop.
Oh, the toaster needs to be plugged in to be powered.
What a barbaric thing you've done to this creature.
Oh, I haven't done it. It's just how the creature was made. I mean, surely with your intelligence, you can find some way to add some sort of portable power to the toaster. Not that I think that would make it any more useful, but it would certainly be more mobile.
Watson looks over at you with a... Give me an insight check.
Sure. 24.
The look he's giving you is like... Why does it have to be useful for it to be alive, huh?
uh, Laura doesn't have time for that. No.
Were you successful in your little heist?
Yes, in fact, we were. Which is why I'm here. We're going to need some of your assistance. We're going to be dealing with more preserver areas that I thought you might be interested in having a look at.
I am interested in getting out of this laundry room, whatever it takes.
Well, then, I'm here to pick you up. You come along with me. We'll meet together with the rest of the crew, and then we'll head off.
And are you saying I have permission to tamper with the toaster?
Just so long as you don't do anything loud and dangerous, sure.
He opens up his chest compartment and he sticks the toaster inside and he hovers up to go and join you.
Okay, sure that won't bite me in the arse later.
What has happened to Mistress Ursa?
Oh, she's off with the captain, actually.
I thought you liked the captain.
I appreciate the captain's charms, yes. But they were going to be an old friend, so I thought I'd come here and just make sure you're okay and pick you up. I needed some space anyways, so.
He kind of looks at you with narrow eyes.
You seem like you have some suspicions, Watson. What are you thinking? What are you processing in there?
I think your skin temperature gets hotter whenever you think about the captain.
Well, I'm simply adjusting to the climate of Starhaven, Watson. You'll notice it's slightly warmer here than on the lunar surface of Farside City.
I haven't been to Farside City. I wouldn't know that.
Oh well, if you had been there, you'd know. It's slightly different. It's a bit colder over there, so I feel warmer over here. Yes, that's the direction that would go in. So yes, warmer here.
You don't sound sure about that.
I'm positive about it. You haven't been there, so how would you know, Watson?
Does your skin temperature have something to do with the regulation of your heart?
Well, I'm sure they're tied, of course. Very deeply tied in far side of biology. Linked together, those two things are. So slightly warmer here, which makes my skin warm, which makes my heart beat a bit faster, and then my palms get a bit sweaty sometimes, and other things. All of that related to the climate.
Your
And
knees get weak.
And it's got nothing to do with the sexy space elf, does it?
I don't know if I would use all of those words to describe him.
Interesting. Well, shall
Watson,
we?
how about you? Yes, you consider your toaster plans. We do need to move stealthily, though, so I'll bundle you up in my coat, I suppose.
He looks at you like we did this before.
Alara becomes the hunchback of Starhaven.
Yeah, is that what we did before? I don't even.
I think that's how you got Watson into your apartment, was you had him underneath your coat. And he held on to, he gave your legs a hug. He was hugging your leg.
Right, yes. Okay. All right.
He will assume the position.
Yes. Get into the position, Watson. We have to go.
So the toaster is inside the Watson that is on side Alara.
And Alara will awkwardly amble back towards.
There's a hole in the bottom of the sea.
If Watson has no more questions, she will start walking and try to think about a colder climate to hopefully cool herself off.
Awesome. Watson does not have any more relevant questions. So back at the warehouse, we rejoin Aelin and Chimera. What are y'all doing?
Aelin is making sure that Chimera is staying put, so she's kind of pacing back and forth a little bit. Every now and again, I guess she's looking out the window of the place, watching the cult do their thing.
Yeah, they sure are doing their thing. Chimera As you're standing watch over the warehouse, and you're sort of suppressing the dark voice in your head, you do get the sensation of eyes on the back of your head.
I'm going to try and look and see if someone or something is lurking about.
Give me a perception check.
Ha! 10.
As you sort of peer over, you see two bright purple eyes peeking out over a crate, but you're not sure how many crates.
How? Way to steal my thunder.
You only rolled a 10 on your perception check.
Yeah. So. Okay, I thought I would know less about the eyes, but I thought the crates would be a gimme.
You do
Where
see
is-
it's one of the angel androids staring at you.
Where is Aelin at this point? Like,
She's looking out the front door, or the one of the windows towards the front of the warehouse.
does the angel android have line of sight to her or in any way threaten her?
Doesn't seem to.
I will approach. Now, has this android been active before?
Yes, yep, they were the ones who were supposed to be working on the speeder.
And what is it doing now? Just looking.
When you start heading that way, she lets out a little eep, and then drops behind the crate.
I'll just walk over to the crate. There is no need for anxiety. I merely wish to ask what you are doing.
You see when you get over around the crate, she does wipe a little bit of the sort of gold-flecked, oily blood from her nostrils.
Are you malfunctioning?
Oh, I'm sorry to bother you, Chimera-kun. It's just, my sister and I need your big, strong hands in the back. Usually Senpai Solo provides us with direction when we're performing, but he's not here and we're oh so confused. Are you busy?
I am able to assist you at this time.
Excellent. She sort of jumps up and gets very excited in a way I won't replicate on stream for everybody's benefit.
Come on!
And she will grab you around one arm and she'll start trying to lead you into where the speeder is.
Okay.
And you see the other one, she has unzipped part of her mechanical coveralls. And she sort of wipes away weird synthetic sweat from her brow. She's a robot. I don't know why he programmed them to sweat. And she kind of looks over at you. And she chucks a space wrench to you.
Okay.
Says, we're not sure how to get it working. Maybe you can take a crack at it.
Very well.
And please give me a... please give me a
Technology?
expertise engineering check.
Oh, expertise engineering.
This is all your fault, Alex.
This is Steve Kenson's fault, not my fault.
17.
17. Awesome. So you go ahead and tell me a little bit about how you are coordinating their efforts to prepare the speeder. Or doing it yourself.
I guess just looking at what is going on or what they've accomplished so far, just trying to suss out like what needs to be done to get the speeder operational again. Like, I don't know if they're just not, if they've done something wrong or they just don't know what to do. Like, so I don't know what that 17 tells me.
Give me an insight check. Was it Sherlock barking?
No.
No.
Not this time.
17 is my number, I guess. 17 on the insight.
You think they know exactly what they're doing, and now they're just trying to get you over here to flirt with you one-on-one. 2-on-1.
Okay. I mean, Chimera has no emotional reaction to that.
That's fair.
Can we cloak the chat? No. So, does it look like it's going to take a long time to complete the repairs or do the repairs?
Probably another 2 or 3 hours.
Okay. I will just sort of explain to them what they should, because like I'm supposed to be out there with Aylin, correct?
Mhm.
So I will just sort of methodically explain what they should be doing.
Excellent. While Chimera is in the back, Aelin, you hear a knock at the front door.
Aelin will take a look around, not see anybody coming to open the door, and she will step up and not swing it wide open, but open it more than the hey, it stops when the chain is drawn.
You see standing on the stoop of the warehouse is one of the children of Chrysalis holding these wicker baskets full of food and medicine supplies and things like that. She's kind of a tall, slender humanoid with golden tan skin, platinum blonde hair, and snow white angel wings on her back. She's dressed in the loose-fitting white and gold robes of the children. Hello. How are you?
We are doing fine.
That is wonderful to hear. I don't know if you are aware, but the children of Chrysalis are here offering supplies to the needy.
Is not everyone in Starhaven needy?
They are. That is why we've been endeavoring to do as much as we can for these areas that have been forgotten by the people in the Central District. I'm student Andromeda. What's your name?
We are Aelin.
It is nice to meet you, Aelin. Will you accept this gift basket?
What strings are attached to the gift basket?
None. This is just a goodwill for the community initiative that we're putting on.
This is quite the resource-intensive drive.
Pupil believes that everyone deserves a fair chance here in Starhaven, so he has found ways to acquire enough to go around.
Quite the resource-intensive drive. Well, let us see what you have. And she'll kind of take a peek into the basket, looking specifically to see if there are any, especially with the medicine, if there's any specific tags that's like, oh, hey, this was supposed to go to this hospital, that kind of stuff.
Stolen
it's
from hospital.
It's like, yes. It's like, who's muscling in on her turf and or who's muscling in on Mama Kiger's turf?
So you take a look. Go ahead and give me expertise. Do you have expertise smuggler or just expertise Starhaven Underground?
Expertise Starhaven Underground from Brains.
I'll let you do expertise Starhaven Underground.
Okay. That is a 31.
Wow. So it's very curious to you that the medicine does not appear to have any sort of this is where it came from tags. It doesn't seem to be to the level of quality that they'd be using in a hospital. A lot of it looks like it's mixed together from various herbs and various pseudo-medical ways, almost like faith healing and sort of natural salves and things like that.
Interesting.
Yeah, a lot of stuff that cures like burns and stuff that you would rub on small scratches and maybe you would give a kid for a cold, stuff like that. Nothing for anything really serious.
Gotcha. Well, we see that there are quite a number of things in this basket, some of which are more useful than others, but we appreciate the offer. And she'll pluck the basket out of Andromeda's hand while putting her, like, she'll go to do that and she'll put her hand underneath and touch Andromeda's hand and kind of like do that light touch as she pulls the basket back. to see what her reaction is.
She blushes a little bit. You know, Aelin, you seem like you might be of a similar mind to what we're trying to do here at the Children. Are you interested in giving back to Starhaven at all?
We have ways of doing that currently.
Well, it would be interesting to combine our efforts, I think.
We
Sorry.
will. And she'll kind of smile. We will we'll take that under advisement. We think it might be nice to see you again.
And she sort of reaches into the pocket of her robe, and she'll unfold a flyer that she'll hand over to you.
It's the same one I got from the party the other night.
This one's actually different.
Okay.
This one is a flyer for. It says that the children are having a community medicine initiative. In a week, they will be distributing free antibiotics and other medical supplies to the needy. And it is a pay what you can to receive the package.
Okay.
And there will be free food and entertainment. And Pupil himself will speak.
Aelin will incline her head as she takes it and looks it over. Perhaps we will see you there.
I plan to being there, yes.
We did have a question, though. We heard music as you were walking around. You and the others.
You did.
We did.
Well, we do enjoy singing as we work. Helps make the workday go faster.
Was this a particular hymn that Pupil taught you?
Yes, it is. He says that it comes. Well, he says that it comes from a bygone era when everybody was just nicer to one another and just looked out for each other.
Would he have given you a copy to learn from? Perhaps the musical score itself.
Well, I do have some sheet music for it. And she'll pull out her smart comm. And she'll say, "What's your number? I'll text it over to you."
Aelin will give her one of her burners.
And she will text you over the sheet music for the song that they were singing.
Okay.
It's a very simple tune, and
Mm.
it helps me feel at peace when times are hard.
Aelin will give her that smile and kind of look up at her through her eyelashes. We thank you. We will perhaps see you later. We should let you get back to your task.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And please, I hope to see you again.
Aelin will step back, kind of wait for her to step away from the door, close it, and Braun will speak up, just speaking out loud. Well, we're not sure exactly what you're doing, but we think you have an ulterior motive. Oh, hush. We are just making sure that Chimera will be fine if we have to spend time amongst them. We think that was a good idea. Well played, sister. You two always gang up on us. And Aelin will go in. She'll set the basket down on a table, and she'll start looking over the sheet music, knowing that thankfully Watson is on his way.
Excellent. That is right around the time Chimera comes out of the back to see you again, Aelin, and that's right around the time that Ursa and Flynn return. If Ursa is coming this way and not going somewhere else. but
Ursa
that's
was
up to
heading
Ursa.
wasn't she heading towards the
Yeah, Ursa
The
would be
apartment?
heading towards the apartment.
Okay, awesome.
They didn't meet halfway. I'm not sure which direction she's coming from, obviously.
Awesome. In the interest of comic book convenience, Ursa and Flynn, you run into Alara and Watson on the street.
Oh, Laura, hello.
is that a
What's
Laura
up?
or is that three berserker robots in a trench coat?
Certainly feels like there's 3 down here. How did your meeting go? Or would you rather talk about it when we're in private?
Probably not wise to talk about it here, but you're okay. You're feeling okay.
Well, I was explaining to Watson that's a little warmer here than home, but other than that,
I can feel your heartbeat increasing against your skin.
well, that's because one of my legs is lifting a heavy robot, Watson.
Is it much warmer here? I haven't noticed.
It's very much warmer here.
Is it?
Several degrees, in fact. Well, you're
What do you think,
acclimatized,
Franklin? Do you think it's
so
warm?
yes. I mean, you get used to things faster than I do. Some things like temperature. So you might not have noticed.
I actually think it's a little bit chillier, but
Well, that's. I'm sure there's good reason for that, Captain. Perhaps you're used to the temperature inside a ship.
Okay, Alara. You're acting strange. Very passionate about the weather, so maybe we should get you back indoors where the weather is more regulated?
Yes, of course. Air conditioning. That's exactly what I need.
Okay.
Watson
Onward.
registered that squeak as well. Wiki.
That was good.
So are you guys heading to the warehouse now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. That means Chimera and Aelin, you have a little bit more time by yourselves if there's anything you want to chat about before the others get back.
So Aelin will see Chimera come back in to the room. Oh, we didn't notice you leave. Is everything all right?
The angel androids were choosing to have difficulty in repairing the speeder. I believe that they are back on task.
Choosing. What?
Yes.
Do you know why?
Uncertain. They are androids. If their programming to mimic human emotions is complete, I would say that they were attempting to flirt.
Aelin will kind of put her hand to her mouth and kind of giggle a little bit. Oh, Chimera. Was it successful? Probably not.
Sadly for them, no.
Well, you went with them. We think they got what they wanted.
In the
Come.
interest of getting the speeder repaired, I thought it best to provide some redirection.
We would ask that you look at something with us. Come. And
Of
she'll
course.
she'll come sit on the couch and kind of pat the cushion next to her.
Okay. So Chimera will come sit next to Aelin.
And she'll push the basket of goods and medicines over to him and say, would you take a look at these? We may have to run some of the medicines through some sort of scan or analyzer, but we think things are being procured throughout Starhaven to make, at best, small remedies. and she'll show him the flyer. We think someone may be muscling in on our turf.
So without a scanner, Alex, do you want like a treatment or like?
Treatment check would be fine.
Okay, 18. So it would have been the same as if I'd taken a routine check.
Sort of similar to what Aelin was able to suss out. This looks like a lot of home remedies. You see what looks like some homemade sunscreen, some aloe ointment for burns, something that you would call black salve if you lived in the foothills of West Virginia. Sort of this black material that you would wipe on a wound, sort of like Neosporin. And a little vial of purplish fluid that you register as some kind of cough syrup.
At a cursory examination, Mistress, I'm unable to determine if there are any hidden chemical reactions to be obtained from these. We would, as you suggest, need proper scanner to determine if there's any nefarious side to these remedies, but they appear to be what they are advertised as at the cursory glance.
Yeah, and there's enough food for one family of 4 to 8 to have a decent sized meal. Looks like some dehydrated bread that you can just put a little water in to turn into a full loaf of bread. Small meats and cheeses and fruits.
I mean, it's not a dehydrated Pizza Hut pepperoni pizza.
No.
6 portions. We could trade a BB unit to get more. I'm just kidding.
That was our assessment as well. We should obviously take a look at it, especially with what they are looking to do in about a week with the actual true medicines rather than small remedies. Sunscreen, we think, is a odd choice to provide in a medicinal basket in a domed city so far from Seoul.
Yep, there's also a bottle of fermented fruit juice.
There are possibilities why that would be necessary if access outside of the protected dome is something where extra solar radiation may be a consideration. Should we seek out a scanning device, or is it more important that we wait here for the rest of the crew to return first?
Well, we believe Watson is coming back with Alara. We would expect he should have the necessary technology if he is amenable. He is very... what is the best word? Obstinate?
That is an accurate assessment. Very well. We shall wait for their return.
Right around then is when everybody else returns.
Mhm.
Watson disentangles himself from Alara's jacket.
Welcome back. We see at least one of you was successful. Captain Ursa, did you find what you were looking for?
We found information.
We think that is a worthy endeavor. We also found some things. And Chimera was flirted with.
What?
Really?
Apparently, Mr. Solo's androids have more humanoid capacity than we thought.
Chimera. One the lady. Hey, Laura, does that make you feel hot too?
Well, no, in fact, because we've entered a cooler building.
Aelin looks over at Alara and just raises an eyebrow like, oh.
Perhaps we should change topics slightly. I did run into some Aegis agents. They were working with the far-sided commandos. Obviously, after our little run-in with them today, they've been looking for suspects. I had a conversation with a couple of them, and I got a business card. So, not sure if that's an active issue, but they seem to be concerned about some of their own agents.
Aelin will look over at Flynn. We don't think you need a business card to contact an Aegis agent, do you, Captain?
I might know a few.
Watson looks over at you, Alara, with his binocular eyes, and they narrow.
Alara has found this business card very interesting to look at specifically, and no one else.
Ursa's just like watching this happen. Just like, okay.
Would agents Hanson and Bonham be one of those agents that you know, Captain?
They are not known to you, Flynn.
Nope. Those two names don't ring a bell.
Well, if we need to talk to them specifically, I have their card. Otherwise, Watson's here, so
Laura, while we leave Watson with them for a second, I need to talk to you.
I'm
Sure.
going to shoot her a look to see the do you want me there kind of look.
She'll sort of shrug. It doesn't matter. And then
The
she'll
shrug
just
of
pull
yes,
him
go.
along anyway. We'll all go. We'll be right back.
Toasty and I are going to go in the back and look at the speeder, says Watson.
Watson, before you do so, and she'll pull up the burner and text. I'm assuming we have his thing and like the ability to like text him.
Yeah, you could send him files like a printer, I suppose.
Okay. I don't want him to print it out. I want him to.
But
It just comes
So-
out of
Yeah. So Aylin's gonna send the music score to Watson and say, "Would you analyze this for us? We think it may be Preserver."
interesting. And he sort of he receives the file and he begins making this weird router noise as his brain is sort of analyzing the sheet music you sent him. And he kind of looks at you and he looks at Chimera and he looks at you again. This is very peculiar information you've given me.
Would you then like to share peculiar information with us?
I don't know if I know how.
Try.
This appears to be some kind of bastardization of Preserver music. Preservers didn't perceive things on the same 3 dimensions that you lesser Preserver descendants do.
Oh god, I just forgot I'm a reboot Cylon.
And somebody has taken that sacred text and they have converted it, they've distilled it down into a form that can be understood by simple creatures like yourselves.
Would that take someone well versed in Preserver history or knowledge or technology to do so?
Oh yes, even more than the capabilities that I have. I don't think I could distill this music down into a form that would be understandable and or pleasant to your ears.
Someone then gifted with a way with mathematics to a certain degree.
Yes, and musicology, and they have to have some kind of processor or translator that can take the 5 and 6 dimensional inputs and render them down into this 3-dimensional swill.
Were there any locations here in Starhaven, one might acquire something like that. Obviously, we have found your location and that of, well, we would rather not talk about that one.
I don't know of any installations that would have that sort of equipment. But that doesn't mean it doesn't exist somewhere on Europa. It just means that they didn't tell the prophet who didn't tell me. A lot of these preservers were very secretive with one another.
Well, we thank you for working on that. If you would like to go work on the speeder with the angel androids, we think they would appreciate the hand, seeing as how they are missing the two they wanted.
The hell's an angel android?
You will find out.
Watson will Jetsons into the back room. And you hear him yell, "What the hell are you supposed to be?" And then you guys hear a string of electronic noises in the back room that sounds like arguing.
As long as it doesn't sound like arguing, he said.
Oh, okay.
I was going to say, as long as it doesn't sound like the AOL connection from the 90s, I think we're okay.
That's the second time that's come up today.
In two completely unrelated venues.
Yes.
It's true. All right, Ursa, Alara, and Flynn.
I don't know whether it'd be safer for us to all mind link or not, so I'm probably just gonna talk. Sir Flynn, being the very kind man that he is, took me to see someone who could potentially help Eric and get Lady Luna out of his head. However, in doing so, she read me and revealed to me that Lady Luna is also in both you and my heads as well. And that she is driving a large majority of your desire for the stone, and that when you find the stone, you've been programmed to take it back to her.
Programmed to bring the stone back to her. You went to some other telepath for this information.
Apparently, it's her specialty.
He's dealt with many of the StarCon's victims.
Well, I can't doubt her credentials, having not met her, but I mean, it's a bit of a stretch, wouldn't it be? Why would she want us to get the stone, the one object that could make us more powerful than her, even if we try to bring it back? Surely with it in our possession, we would be able to strike her down. Why would Lady Luna want us to be more powerful than her for even just a moment?
Maybe she's instilled something in us that when we get the stone, it automatically triggers something in our mind that we won't use it against her, and we'll bring it right back to her. We don't know what kind of mind games they played with us when they were experimenting with us all those years.
I'm sure that's not the case.
But you don't know. Alara, I want you to do something for me. Look deep in my mind and see if you can find her.
Okay. If it'll make you feel better. And Alara will reach out mentally and try to probe into Ursa's mind and see if there's any connections reaching outwards, anybody else who is on this network. Anyone else is on this call.
I'm going to give you a hero point because when you go to try to do that, your body won't let you.
Oh, no, this isn't right. There's something stopping me.
That sort of supports what she was saying then, doesn't it?
It's sure. I'm sure it's not impossible then. It's not very likely. I want the stone because I want the stone because I want to go stop her. But if you think this is possible, like, well, sure. I mean, if it's a problem, then I'll just deal with it myself. I can root around my own head. I don't need someone else to do it for me.
Can you?
Sure. Just give me a moment. And I guess Alar will try to do the same thing to herself, but probably have the same effect.
Same effect.
Well,
Well, there is something stopping me from delving too deep into my own mind as well.
does that mean? Well, I'm just so confused. How wouldn't that mean that she knows where we are and she's just been letting us go?
And what, this whole time we've just been on a longer leash?
Is she trying to control us into finding the moonstone on our own?
That's no, okay. Adjustment of the plan then. We talk to this whatever is the name of the telepath that you talk to. We figure out something with her then, I guess. We deal with that, and then we get the stone, and then we go back.
Yes.
And then we unseat her, and everything will be right again. It's just an extra step. That's all it is. Just a minor speed bump in the plan.
And Sir Flynn, you trust her, right? Not feeling great.
Sorry, a little lag on my side. I trust her.
Well, Captain, if you're sure you can trust her, then I suppose that will do.
I mean, she's been helping people get escape from the clutches of the Starcon after he grabs them and turns them into his hounds. So, I mean, I don't think she's going to need love for Lady Luna either.
Okay, so how soon can we do this then? Because we're about to go on a journey that might involve us getting closer to the moonstone itself.
I suppose that I don't know.
Well, she did say she needed us to bring you and Eric and anyone else that we might know that's under her sway.
Well,
to break the tides.
Well, I suppose that Eric probably isn't where we left him.
No, and it would be difficult to get him again. But if we go there as just the two of us, and we deal with this, and then, we follow through with everything else, once Lady Luna is eliminated, then she won't be able to control Eric. So it solves all our problems.
I suppose as long as she doesn't kill him to get to us. In the meantime.
Well, it seems she wouldn't need to anyways, since she's always been there the entire time.
Yes, but once we gouge her out of our minds, she will lash out quite severely, I would think.
Possibly, but
let's just do it. It's for the best anyway.
Sure. So, yes, we deal with this and we go on our journey. Unless, of course, the journey is more time sensitive than I'm remembering. Unless something else comes up. But we can go to this this place and deal with this connection. Once it's gone, we get the stone and, everything else.
Well, let's go tell the others that we have to make a detour.
Yes, I mean, the robots are also still... the robots are still working on the speeder, so we have time.
That is true.
Captain, thank you for your assistance with this.
Of course, I need to watch out for my crew.
Well, it's appreciated. uh, Alara's temperature is noticeably higher, sure.
I can feel it here.
Watson, focus on your work.
Yes, Sir Flynn, your work is much appreciated. And she'll just glare at Alara. And I'm still mad at you, even if our lives are in danger. Just so you know.
Well, the question is, do we try to do this now without having Eric available? Or do we wait and try to deal with it after we rescue Eric?
Does she need us all? Or can she do both of us and then do Eric at a later time?
She did say she needed everybody. She didn't specify how long it would take either.
Alara is going to say, we don't have that much time. We just need to deal with this now. Then we can go do what we came here for.
Yeah. Flynn, you would know from previous deprogrammings that she's done that it usually takes 2 weeks to a month.
Oh no.
Yes.
Montage.
So yeah, we definitely need to go and deal with the current mission first.
2 weeks.
When are we going to have 2 weeks to just stop?
As soon as we find the CD single from the Bare Naked Ladies.
Oh
Okay,
no, Jonesy, why?
You're welcome.
It's been 1 week since you looked at me. I listened to a podcast episode that asked if he was the worst person of all time, the protagonist of that song.
Wow.
It was a very funny episode. But okay. So with that knowledge, I will say that Watson and the Angel androids are able to get the speeder up and running after a couple of hours. Is there any last minute preparations before we had to break and then we head off into the unknown?
Aelin would have used contacts to get the supplies that Flynn was asking for. So probably some survival gear, climbing gear. I know grenades were asked for.
We'll have a grenade. We'll have a good grenade or two. Yeah, I won't make you roll for that. That's pretty easy stuff for you, for Trinity to get a hold of.
Yep.
Are any of you going to take anything from the basket that was dropped off by the children?
No.
No.
There are.
What basket?
Alara,
It's got snacks.
Aelin would have shown Alara and the rest of the crew when they come back from doing whatever the heck it is they went off to do by the three of them, which Aelin will definitely give them all the eyebrow raise and the knowing smirk as they come back in.
Well, the funny thing is, she can actually give she could theoretically give each one of us the raised eyebrow separately.
Yes. And then she would explain about the basket being from the cult, and that the fact that we still want to analyze some of the stuff that's there just because we're not entirely certain it's on the level.
Laura kind of wants that fermented fruit juice, but she'll
It's like,
wait for Aylin's warning.
it's like, we would think if you would like that, it could wait until we return.
Sure. Things will have to wait.
It is in a sealed bottle, if that makes you feel any better. It's got a cork and everything.
No. Trust this cult.
This is the lemon squares all over again.
This is the it doesn't look flammable look.
It does look flammable. They found a lot of wicker somehow on your rope.
Flammable means inflammable.
Awesome. Well, I think this is probably a good point for us to go ahead and take our quick break as Watson and the Angel Androids roll the speeder out, having repaired some of its onboard defense mechanisms and bringing it up to preserver code as far as Watson's concerned. He also did find a little bit of time to animate Toasty.
I said this earlier, but now you have made the brave little toaster. I swear.